Hi guys, and welcome back to Acting for Everybody. This is Bree. If you hear some noise in the background of this video, it's because my neighbours upstairs are dragging furniture around rather than picking it up and moving it like a normal person. Anyways, today we are looking at basic stage makeup fundamentals. I might elaborate on this video in the future, but for now, it's going to be really simple. So basic stage makeup applies to everyone. I remember when I first started doing community theatre, and that was really where I learned how to do my own makeup, and then I would help teach others, usually the guys, the young guys. This was back before YouTube makeup tutorials were common on how to apply various things. And now remember, I'm not a beautician and I'm not a beauty expert, and I understand that there are plenty of YouTube tutorials where you can learn to do specific versions of makeup. So this video will be more about why we use stage makeup and what really stage makeup is for. So why use stage makeup? Well, of course, it covers up any of the blips on your skin. And it can add features that you don't already have to enhance your character. A bit like just wearing a mask, which, is what a lot of people use normal makeup for as well. Everyday makeup, I mean. But there can be other uses though, and this is the use that I'm really going to focus on today. So to explain it, I'm going to take an example. So in traditional Japanese theatre, the performing environments used to be often in low lighting, I believe. So you will find that in more traditional forms of theatre, you have this use of white face paint, and part of the reason for that was to make the expressions of the actors more visible from a distance, because you'd be in these low light environments, and you'd be maybe sitting far away as well. So the makeup that they used really helped to convey the expressions that far across. And if you like things like kabuki, even though I guess to me kabuki is more like a dance form of theatre, but if you like things like kabuki and you would know that the actors aren't the ones who talk. They have a kind of narrator and musicians who tell the story while they're kind of acting it out through the kind of dance form. So yeah, so let's think about the settings in which modern theatre is often performed. If we take out the exception of the theatre al fresco, when they do Shakespeare in the park or in the gardens or outdoors, then the most common version of the theatre, of course, is a large dark room with very bright stage lights. I'm not sure if you've had experience in this environment, and I'm not sure if you have, what your experience has been in terms of the lighting, but stage lights for me tend to wash me out and blur all of my facial features together, which makes me think that unless you already have naturally contrasting features, like a dark moustache against porcelain skin, your goal is probably the same as mine, which is to create that definition under the light so that people can really see your expressions clearly. And this, of course, means heavier makeup than in your everyday life. So you probably want a thicker base of foundation, slightly darker shades of contour if you're using contour and highlighter, a much more dramatic look. And you'd want to use stronger colours, because when that light hits it, it really kind of like disperses the color a little bit. So yeah, during this video, I've been applying my makeup, and I'm going to show you how I would do a basic, more innocent stage look as well. I forgot to mention shadows on the face. I'll probably talk more about that in another video, but just to be wary, if you have a fringe or bangs, that unless it's a character choice to have them, it's probably best to keep them back a little bit because they can create unwanted shadows on the face. I guess if your hair is a little bit, if your bangs are quite thin and wispy, then it might work out all right. But of course, that's for you and to decide. But yeah, we'll talk more about working with stage lights and shadows on your face in a later video. So to start, we want a clean face that we moisturize. It's really important to take care of your skin, and a lot of that is down to just moisturizing your skin. Then we can apply some primer. Primer creates a nice barrier between your skin and the makeup. So it does help with those pesky makeup acne things that you get if your skin's not used to having makeup on it. Now, in terms of foundation, your skin type does matter. And remember, if you're under stage lights, you might start sweating. I know I do. In the past, I found liquid foundation doesn't really last the full show. And powder was a bit too thin for my needs. So my recommendation is a cream to powder foundation that you can really build up. I think in traditional kind of like old Hollywood kind of era, they would often, and before that, they'd often use grease paint. And I think cream to powder foundation it's a really good kind of modern alternative to grease paint. Of course, grease paint still exists, but just from the name, you can probably feel how heavy that's probably going to feel on your skin, and you might be really uncomfortable with it. As well as if you think about putting grease all over your skin, it will really stop it completely from breathing. So, yeah. But if you're into grease paint, I'd love to hear about like how you find it, because I know no one who uses the oldie goodie grease paint. So basically, you want to get a good coverage, but also a good color for your skin. And you really want to make sure that you blend it in to your neck. We don't want to see those foundation lines. And I know this is so basic. So for you guys who are already good at makeup and do your own makeup, you might be like, this is so basic. But there are people out there who have never worn makeup before, and their first time wearing makeup, especially foundation, is on stage, and they're a bit like, how? What? Okay, so now that I've done my base, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Look, ginger brows disappear completely under stage lights, so this is super necessary for me. You might find it less necessary if you've got naturally darker eyebrows. I always do my eyebrows darker than I would in real life, and that's often using either my Auburn eyebrow pencil and brush, or I actually use eyeshadow. You can use eyeshadow and a fine brush to really shade them in. So for my eyes, I am using mid-tone and dark browns to define them. Now you might be like, oh, but you're going for a more innocent basic makeup look. Trust me, under the lights, this makeup one is going to settle first and then disappear like under those lights. For cheeks, I always do more dramatic blush. Now, because I can't really use contour because it doesn't really go with my colouring very well, That was my neighbours coming home. Okay. It doesn't really go with my skin so well. I tend to contour my face using blush. I don't know, pink tones, they're a bit better. Like, I'm sure if I wanted to age myself up for a part, I'd definitely stick to browner tones, but for now I'm sticking to more red, pinker tones. And of course, on the lips, you gotta use lipstick. I remember I watched a video that a casting agent did, and yes, this was for films and film auditions, but she was like, for goodness sakes, ladies, you really, really need to use lipstick, because she was saying that if you don't use lipstick, it's actually going to make your whole face like not pop. And for an audition, you kind of really, really want to pop. And I honestly think that being on stage is the same. You want your character to pop out a little bit, not just be like, oh, that person in the background. You want to be a bit more captivating. Now we've done the basics, I am going to try and show you what it looks like under the strongest light I have, which is my ring light. Of course, it is nowhere near as strong as a stage light, but I just want you to see kind of the effect that it has on my face. And that's the result. So remember that your makeup needs to take your lighting conditions into account. And now that we've covered the extreme basics of it, like very, very basic of it, go find your makeup inspiration for your character somewhere online, like a picture reference, and have fun with designing your own makeup for your character. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I know as professionals, like you have a makeup artist who does it for you, but this is something I really enjoy about doing a smaller community theatre, is just playing with it and designing it. Okay, well, I will see you in the next video. And if there's something more that you want me to touch on, just let me know, and I will add it onto my to-do list. Cool. Have a really great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.